Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just feel a sense of tension, stress or worry, feeling like it's leaving your body in your outward breath. The deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And notice how when you slow down your breathing, the resources that you're breathing in are confidence, courage, but also creativity and fascination. Feel that wonderful fusion of resources going in through your nose, into your lungs, being transported to every cell in your body. And as you exhale, think that in particular, it's any worries, any anxiety, any feeling of dread or trepidation that's leaving your body. Feel that melting away, leaving your body as the next inward breath brings in that confidence, courage, creativity, and fascination. Breathing in and breathing out. I want you to use the power of your imagination to go back in time. Imagine being perhaps just 4 or 5 years old. Imagine what it would have been like to have made a friend when you were so young that had a fascination for animals, all creatures. Maybe you could imagine them as a young Steve Irwin-type of character, that any creature was a source of immense fascination, giving them exuberance and enthusiasm. And imagine that that was your very best friend, that whenever you would play together, you would spend your time exploring, particularly outside in gardens, near ponds or rivers. Imagine spending time interacting with animals, and all of that enthusiasm and fascination of that imaginary friend of your childhood would naturally, effortlessly find its way into you. Imagine how you would feel being perhaps just 4 or 5 or 6 years old, seeing a creature that you'd never seen before, but instead of feeling uncertainty or anxiety, imagine the very first feeling you feel is pure fascination, curiosity, and intrigue. And in particular, I want you to imagine that the more disgusting the creature, the more fascinating it becomes. Almost like you're seeing an alien creature that is harmless but interesting. Imagine being a small child and feeling that way. I want you to think that recent animals that may have caused a sense of anxiety, imagine seeing them as a child and feeling a sense of fascination, curiosity, and even humor attached to them. That if they are disgusting, then it makes you laugh or smile. Children love laughing at disgusting things, and imagine that's your experience. The more disgusting the animal, the more hilarious it becomes. And imagine going all the way from your childhood all the way up to your present, feeling that that's how things are. And imagine that there is a way of perceiving animals as guests, and that all guests are either invited or uninvited. A pet, either your own or someone else's, is an invited guest. But an animal that just finds its way into your home or garage, bathroom or kitchen, may very well be an uninvited guest. But just because they're uninvited doesn't mean they're dangerous. And imagine all the time from your childhood to the present day, you found them fascinating or curious, or a source of endless amusement and entertainment. Imagine that whole timeline from being 4 years old all the way up to the present gives you a different perspective. And I want you to imagine walking around your own home, garage, bathroom or kitchen. But imagine each uninvited guest almost like a character in a humorous cartoon, each with its own silly voice and comical antics, making you smile each time you see them. Maybe you can give each creature a funny personality. Maybe one is the grumpy old man of the spider world, and another is the hyperactive youngster, making their presence amusing rather than alarming. I want you to scan your body for where you feel curiosity within you, and feel your curiosity grow about these creatures. Wonder about their lives, what they do each day, how they contribute to the world. Feel that fear is turning into fascination. You can appreciate uniqueness in other humans, so it's not a big leap to marvel at the uniqueness of each creature, appreciating the incredible diversity of life that visits your home, even unexpectedly. And use that creative part of your mind to create funny and imaginative stories about their secret lives, which they might be living when you're not looking, adding an element of playfulness to their presence. And remind yourself that you are in control of your space and can choose to coexist peacefully and humorously with these little visitors. Whenever you feel uneasy, imagine the creature wearing a tiny, ridiculous hat, or maybe dancing, noticing how easy it is to transform your anxiety into laughter. Acknowledge that most household creatures are harmless and there to live their lives, not to cause any disruption to yours. In the past, you may have given them an agenda to annoy you, to upset you, to bother you. And that gives evidence that you can give these animals an agenda. But what if you gave them humorous agendas? That they're playing a game of hide and seek, a game of cat and mouse, that they're an old-fashioned escapologist trying to escape the traps to break in or break out. Or maybe they're on a secret mission. And with every uninvited guest, set yourself the challenge to learn one fascinating fact about its species. Because when you increase your knowledge and interest, you increase your empathy. And as you increase your empathy, there is no space left for anxiety. And I wonder what might happen if you saw each uninvited visit as a surprise guest at a party, bringing a story and sparking interest. Reflect on nature's wonders and how you see these creatures as part of nature's wonder, and how your home is in some way connected to the larger ecosystem. There they are going about their life, and suddenly, unexpectedly, they find their way in your home. Not because they plan to be there, they're just lost. Celebrate your ability to coexist with all forms of life, feeling empowered by your tolerance and kindness. Or maybe you could practice accepting these visitors as just a natural part of life, recognizing that every creature has its place in the world. Or maybe you find yourself narrating a day in the life of these creatures, as if you were making a documentary, adding a layer of grandeur and comedy to their existence. Or maybe you could adopt a guardian role. If you were to consider yourself a guardian of your home, a guardian that humorously manages the comings and goings of all, including these tiny little creatures, that might change how you feel. Or maybe you could visualize yourself living in harmony with nature, where every creature, big and small, is part of a joyful household. Allow your mind to fill in all the gaps between this imaginary childhood all the way up to the present. Imagine a life of fascination and humor connected to all creatures. Imagine that each creature has a special mission in your home, like a knight on a quest, or a secret agent, adding a layer of storytelling and fun to their presence. Or, if you see an uninvited guest, use a light-hearted warning, perhaps like, "I see you, Mr. Ant. No crumbs here today." The dialogue can come back and forth as you could perhaps imagine a response in that funny, humorous voice. Or maybe you could appreciate the roles these creatures play in the ecosystem, like ants that clean up the crumbs, or spiders that catch pests, valuing their contributions to your home's health. Or maybe you could feel a sense of wonder at the small, magical moments these creatures bring into your life, turning everyday encounters into scenes from a fairy tale. Just imagine walking around your home, seeing the kind of uninvited guests that you've seen before, but this time, give them a voice, a personality, a secret mission, or a game that they're playing. And notice that when you smile, become playful, fascinated, and curious. There is no room left for any anxiety. And you could still choose to have them leave your home without requiring any worry, anxiety, or fear at all. Breathing in and breathing out, feel like you're returning to the present moment, but feeling like your mind has updated how you think about these uninvited guests. Every few months, you update your phone or computer to the very latest operating system. And as you imagine what it would have been like to have a best friend fascinated by small creatures, and that enthusiasm was planted in your mind very young all the way up to the present, imagine your mind downloading an update to how you think about creatures, that as you sleep, your mind will fully update, and when you awake, you will feel a different perspective that leads to different emotions, that gives a wonderful sense of liberation and freedom. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect fully with the present moment as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.